YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Jonathan, and we're back with another video. I'm back on this bitch after like 2 months. That shit crazy. But I've been on TikTok. We grew to 6K followers and growing. We grow every single day. So I'm gonna be way more consistent over here on YouTube. I'm gonna push out at least like 3 videos a week. So with all that being said, I built out a 58-page free ebook that explains clearly how you can manifest your desired reality and get locked in on your desired reality. And also, I have a community where I break everything down step by step. I make it very easy to digest and understand. So both of those, link in description. Go download the free ebook and go tap in with the community, my nigga. We getting lit over there. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. Now, the first thing you have to understand is that your reality is a total mirror of your internal state and identity, or your self-concept and your frequency. Now, if you've been tapped into the law of attraction community, I know self-concept and frequency and vibration is being thrown around, but people really don't truly know what they're talking about. But I'm here to slice through all that bullshit and tell you niggas how it is. So this is how you get locked in on that shit. And this is probably what's been holding you back from experiencing what you truly want to experience. Because it's all a perspective shift. It's no new information out here, bro, for you to understand. It's no new thing, no new technique. Bro, all of this shit is your internal mechanisms that you can become more aware of, so you can start actually guiding your life in the direction that you want it to go. Really understand that, bro. So the first principle is, as you can see, the mirror principle. So your whole life, every single circumstance that you've come across has been a total reflection of what you have internally, whether that be you've been experiencing something internally and it finally got pushed out so you can experience that shit. So reality is a total mirror of your internal programming and your frequency and self-concept. So your self-concept and your frequency is your subconscious programming that you program yourself with and from your external environment that amounts to how you see yourself and how you see your reality, right? Now, you can change this internal programming, but first you have to understand, why is your reality like this? Like, why do you experience certain situations and certain circumstances in your own life? It's because you have that particular perception about that shit. So before you can change anything in your life, you have to understand that it is literally you pushed out. Like, it's literally your own identity and how you see yourself and your own subconscious beliefs about yourself and your reality being pushed out so you can get a reflection of it and experience yourself. Because all of this shit is an internal experience. Your mind creates a projection based off of the stimuli that you receive through your eyes. So your eyes are electromagnetic receivers, meaning that you don't see, you only receive stimuli, and your mind creates a projection or a mental guesstimate based off of what it thinks it sees. And based off of your perception of that mental guesstimate is how you experience your own reality. So your perception about your own mental guesstimate is your identity. Really understand that. And your identity is your frequency. So your frequency attracts every single life circumstance and life event and people and everything around you, bro. That's literally a compilation and a solidified version of your own consciousness, awareness, and frequency. So how you change what you see is how you change your frequency. And when you change your frequency, that's how you change what you see. Because reality is only a mirror to what you have internally. So first, we're going to get into the mirror principle. So section 1, the mirror principle. Reality is a mirror. It's not personal. It doesn't care if you're a good or bad person. It's not punishing you, or is it rewarding you? It's just reflecting back the exact frequency you're broadcasting within. And this is why it's important that you pay attention and understand not only how you view yourself, but who you're being on a daily basis. Because this is compiling day by day and creating energetic momentum, which creates your frequency. Your frequency is literally, like I said, how you experience every single thing in your own life. So every situation, every relationship, every coincidence in your life is all a projection of what you're assuming to be true about yourself and the world around you. So if you're into Neville Goddard's teachings and his books, he says the world is yourself pushed out. That is very important. Literally, again, every single circumstance is literally a reflection of you. So the moment you really understand that shit, bro, something shifts. You stop seeing life as something happening to you and you start realizing it's happening from you. Everything you have experienced from the moment you were born to now is a reflection of how you see yourself and who you are being every single day. So up until age 7, Your subconscious mind has been open to being impressed. And this is why it was so easy for you to learn your native language, because your subconscious mind was open to be impressed and things to get downloaded into it, because you had no reference to go against. You had no prior programming to protect and to go against and reference from. Because as a child, bro, you had no ability to logic and reason. Because how would you logic and reason if you had no reference? Really think about that shit. So section 2, how the mirror works. So really think about this, bro. If you look into a mirror and frown, does the reflection smile back? No. The reflection does not give a vote. It only shows what's already there. It's the same with your own reality. If your internal state is scarcity, the external world can only echo that back. If your internal state is resentment, the mirror cannot reflect peace. This is why forcing external change does not work. You can rearrange the outside all day, but until you shift inside, the mirror just keeps showing the same movie with a different background. Really understand that, bro. And when people try to manifest, they're doing it from a state of lack. Like, the only reason you started watching manifestation or law of attraction content is because you understood in your own reality that there's something that you externally are lacking. So the reason that it is not optimal to manifest from a position of lack is because you're reflecting back onto the mirror of reality that you don't have this thing. This is why somebody can experience 2 different realities with the same opportunity, bro. Like, you can give somebody $1 million and they go turn it into fucking $10 million. Or you can give somebody $1 million and they lose that shit. It's the person and the engine behind the $1 million, not the money itself, that made them rich. Really understand that, bro. It's their own identity. So if somebody's identity is rooted in success and prosperity and abundance, they continue to experience that thing. If somebody's internal identity is rooted in scarcity and lack, they only experience scarcity and lack, no matter how much material you give this person. So again, this is why it's totally important and totally optimal to change your internal state, your internal identity, and your frequency before you start doing physical actions. Whoever you're doing the actions from is going to make that thing work for you or work against you. Really understand that. That's very important. So section 3, owning the projection. So here's the hard truth, bro. Once you understand this shit, blame no longer works. So you have people that constantly blame the government, that constantly blame their parents and the people around them, that constantly blame their current situations and shit, but they never blame themselves for experiencing their own life. That doesn't make any type of sense when you really think about that shit and you use your fucking brain. Like, obviously things can happen to you. Obviously life has contrast, and in that contrast you can experience different parts of your own life that you don't wish to experience. But in totality, bro, everything that you have done is just a reflection of your past actions and your past consciousness and awareness. Really understand that shit. So the good thing about this, bro, is you can change what you see based off of what you have internally. You are literally programmed. You are literally programmed to experience your own internal identity, because all of this shit is internal anyways. Any and everything outside of yourself is just a delayed reflection of what you had internally, bro. Really understand that shit. So for example, right, if I had the belief about women that all women are 304s, then I'm constantly going to be looking for proof in my own reality, whether that be consciously or subconsciously, that women are 304s. And simply because I believe that women are 304s, if I'm trying to get into a long-term stable relationship, those two beliefs or those two things contradict each other. So the relationship that I get into with this woman, I'm constantly going to be looking at her actions to see if they confirm of her being a 304. Even though she might not be internally a fucking 304, I'm only going to see reflections of that belief, because that is like the lens in which I see reality through. And that's your frequency. That's your self-concept. That's your identity. So once you change the identity, you change the reflection. Like, I can't crash out on the mirror for not smiling at me if I don't give a smile first. So you have to be the change. You have to be you're literally the content in the mirror of your own reality. Really understand that shit. So when you stop trying to fix the reflection, you change the image. You change the projection. So when you change the projection, life has to follow. Reality has to conform to who you are, because all of this shit is being experienced from yourself. It's all an internal experience again. Really understand that shit. So section 4, the mechanics of manifestation. So this isn't some fucking spiritual hippie. So section 4, the mechanics of manifestation. So this isn't some fucking spiritual hippie talk, bro. It's literally yin and yang, bro. As within, so without. As above, so below. It's literally a law of the universe and a universal mechanism, bro. And this is why I'm gonna put up a picture on the screen. This is why yin and yang is depicted as two energies, two opposing energies chasing each other, but it's in a fucking circle, bro. So to the 3D, that is a dualistic concept, but to God and to the universe, it's non-dualistic, meaning one. So your awareness is literally God consciousness, nigga. It's one. Everything is all the same. So as above, so fucking below, nigga. The 3D onto the 4D causal realm, nigga. Your mind is literally God consciousness. Everything you can spawn anything you want to internally, bro, in your mind. But the only way you get to experience what you have internally in mental creations is if you solidify that shit. If you solidify your consciousness onto the third dimensional plane. So again, as above, so below. So reality is an illusion. Time is an illusion. But to your mind and to the fourth dimension, time is all happening all at once. This is why you can have like a past event, experience that shit internally from a memory, or you can have a future event and experience deja vu. Is because you already experienced that shit internally first. And reality, since it's a delayed version of your previous consciousness and awareness, time, quote unquote, literally just caught up to that moment, and you felt like you experienced that shit because you did internally. Really understand that, bro. So every thought, every emotion, and every belief that you carry is a frequency. In the universe, it's like a mirror tuned to your station. When you shift the internal state, your outer world has no choice but to sync to that shit. So this is why resistance is never really about them or it. It's always the mirror showing you what you still believe. So if somebody keeps disrespecting you, bro, look at where you've accepted disrespect inside. So if opportunities feel scarce, look at where you've assumed lack is the norm. Really think about that, bro. If you feel like there's no opportunities around you, you can't seem to catch a break, think about where you've assumed that thing in your own reality and made it normal. Because like, think about this shit, bro. If I'm always looking for coupons, if I'm always looking for the next discount, I've made scarcity normal, right? But if I was like, let's say I was making like 200 mil a month, I don't ever think about discounts. I don't ever think about fucking coupons. I don't ever think about the fucking clearance rack. I know I have more money than humanly possible, bro. So again, your perception is based off of your internal programming. Whatever you're programmed to pick out in your own reality, this is what you experience. Again, reality is only a mirror of your current perception and identity and self-concept and frequency. You cannot outrun your frequency. So the mirror never lies. It only reflects who you are at your deepest core. Really understand that, bro. So section 5, stop wrestling shadows. So here's where most people get stuck. They keep trying to fight the reflection. They keep trying to hustle harder. They keep trying to push more, and they stress more. But it's like punching at your own shadow. It's like an ape crashing out on his own reflection. So it doesn't change not one damn thing. But the moment you stop fighting the mirror and start adjusting yourself, resistance turns into revelation. Life becomes a teacher instead of a punishment. Really understand that, bro. All of this shit is a perspective shift. You're not learning any new information. So when you stop trying to fight the reflection, when you stop trying to outwardly change outer circumstances, you stop letting it reflect in your own reality, because you have internally became the change. You have internally shifted to a new version of yourself that doesn't experience your degree of reality. Really understand that, bro, because it is your frequency. It's literally who you are. Like if I'm a person who's constantly late and I don't respect people's time, but I internally change my perception and understanding of my own self, and I see how this reflects my relationships, I internally change to a new version of myself that respects people's time. And this outwardly reflects in my own actions that I am punctual when it comes to deadlines and shit, bro. Really understand that. So it's not like you're doing something outside of yourself to get a new result. You are becoming the result. Like, think about the word or the phrase law of attraction, bro. When you attract something, you literally become the thing that your desires or that person will want to come to. Like, if I'm not an attractive person, I cannot bring things to me. I don't have my own gravitational pull. You have to be the change in which your desired outcome will want to like come to. Really understand that. So section 6, frequency alignment. Love cannot show up for somebody radiating rejection. Abundance cannot land in hands gripping scarcity. Peace cannot settle into a mind addicted to worry. Not because these things are being held from you, but because your frequency is tuned to a different channel. So when you start being the version of yourself who already has it, when you feel secure, loved, and abundant now in the present moment, life has no choice but to confirm what you have internally. So this is why a bunch of like spiritual teachers talk about your frequency and vibration is the most important thing when you want to experience or manifest a new degree of reality. Because your frequency is an energetic signature. Because when you match that energetic signature to the reality that you want to experience, everything, all the material that is linked to that reality, you just get that shit. Because it's you, like it's you pushed out. So if you're expecting abundance, but you consistently do the actions of somebody who's poor, which reality do you think you're going to get? Because you're doing the actions from somebody who's poor. You're never going to get a reality of somebody who's abundant. Really think about that shit and really pay attention to your mental activity and your daily actions. And make sure they're in alignment with what you truly want to experience, bro. Because you might be fucking yourself. So section 7, the inner work is the real work. So this is why manifestation isn't about forcing reality to bend to your will through like external techniques and shit. Like if you're doing fucking the 2-2-2 technique or 4-4-4 technique under a fucking full moon, and make sure fucking the moon is in Pisces and it's conjunct to fucking Mars and Taurus and shit, bro. Yeah. Bro, none of that shit matters, bro. All you have to do is just make sure your self-concept is in alignment with what you want to experience. Make sure your frequency is projecting the correct energetic signature to the desired reality that you want to experience, bro. So meditation, visualization, self-reflection, these aren't rituals to convince the universe. They're ways of reprogramming the projector. Now, your projector is your subconscious. Your subconscious holds like all of your paradigms, all of your beliefs about yourself, your self-concept, your frequency, and what you believe to be true about your own reality. So you are the real. Your mind is the projector. The world is the cinema. If you don't like the movie playing, stop scratching at the screen. Change the fucking movie. I can't crash out on Netflix for showing me this bullshit ass movie. If I don't want to see this bullshit ass movie, I go to motherfucking Hulu or some shit, bro. I go to motherfucking Disney Plus and change the movie, or I go select a new movie. So this is the same way with your own life. If you don't like what you see, change internally. Change how you view yourself, and that'll change the perception that you have on your own life and your own reality. Really understand that shit and really think about that shit. So section 8, the power shift. So this is where it gets good, my nigga. The moment you shift internally, reality shifts. Life stops responding instead of reacting. You stop begging the mirror to change, and you become the change is waiting to reflect. And this is where manifestation stops being a technique and it becomes who you are. Because you have to understand, manifestation is a lifestyle, bro. Like you can't just do this one thing. You can't just do this one technique and change temporarily to get this thing and say, oh, when I get this thing, everything's going to be fine. Nah, you have to give yourself internally the security and every emotional state that particular material item will give you, and it'll come to you because you're attracting it, my nigga. When you don't need anything outside of yourself to give you validation or to confirm who you are, reality conforms to you because you're in a frequency of not needing. You're in a frequency that is attractive. Like, same thing with women, bro. Like, if I'm constantly hitting this woman up, if I'm constantly calling her and shit, bothering her and shit, she's going to be less attracted to me. But when I completely do not give a fuck, that's when she's going to be the most attracted to me. Why is that? Because that's an attractive quality, bro. If somebody is constantly needing your attention and validation, that's not attractive at all. And it's the same thing with your own life circumstances. So with all that being said, bro, reality isn't something to conquer. It's something to wake up from. When you master the internal image, the outer reflection has no choice but to bow to that shit. You don't chase, you don't force, you become the change. And that is the real reason why you haven't manifested what you desire yet. Because you've been trying to change the mirror instead of becoming the reflection inside the mirror. You have to be the change. Really understand that shit. Now, with all that being said, if you enjoyed the contents of this video, I have a community where I break everything step by step. I make it very easy to learn and digest so you can get locked in with your desired reality. Now, with all that being said, if you fuck with the video, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.